If you are lying down, settling into the quiet of the night, this story is for you. Sink slowly into your pillow, let your mind loosen its grip on the day, and drift gently into a calm curiosity about the galaxy we call home. Tonight, we are traveling far beyond the noise of the world, far beyond the glowing cities and the restless winds, out into a place made not of stone or water, but of starlight and possibilities. Tonight, we enter the center of the Milky Way, a place so distant and so hidden behind veils of cosmic dust that for most of human history, we had no idea what lived there. And what we found when we finally learned to see through that darkness was a secret shape, strange and beautiful, a shape that doesn't quite match the smooth spiral most of us imagine. At the heart of the Milky Way, there rests a structure shaped like a peanut. Yes, a peanut, a strange cosmic bulge, swollen at the ends, pinched in the middle, and stretching tens of thousands of light years across. A structure forged by billions of stars swirling around a dark, powerful gravitational core. A heart shaped not like a sphere, not like a disk, but like something curved and folded, like something squeezed gently in the hands of time. But before we drift deeper into that shape, let your breathing slow. Let the tension fade from your shoulders. Let your thoughts begin to glide out into the darkness. Because to understand how something as enormous as a galactic heart could take on a shape so odd, we need to walk very slowly back through the long history of the Milky Way itself. Imagine the night sky without city lights, the sky the way ancient people saw it, a river of stars, foamed and glowing, stretching from horizon to horizon. A river they did not know was a galaxy, did not know was a home, did not know was a vast collection of hundreds of billions of stars. They simply saw a shimmer, a white path, a cloud-like stripe, a place that looked soft, almost hazy, almost alive. And that river, that soft band, is the outer view of a massive spiral structure. But as beautiful as that stripe is, everything visible to your eyes is only the outer skin of something much more complex. You see the arms, you see the dust, you see the starlight spread thin across unimaginable distances. But what you cannot see, what nobody could see until only a few decades ago, is the inner shape, the core, the heart. For a long time, astronomers believed the center of the Milky Way was spherical. That made sense. Gravity pulls things inward, and things falling inward create spherical shapes. Planets become spheres. Stars become spheres. Globular clusters form spherical swarms. A galactic bulge, that bright round mass of stars sitting at the center of a spiral, should also be spherical. But the universe has a way of hiding truths behind assumptions, and the Milky Way hid this one well. Because even when telescopes improved, even when astronomers learned to peer through the fog of cosmic dust using infrared light, they didn't find a perfect sphere at the center. They found a long bar of stars running through the center of the galaxy, like a glowing beam holding the galaxy together. This was already surprising. Bars weren't rare in the universe, but for centuries we didn't know our own galaxy had one. But the bar wasn't the strangest part. The strangest part was the bulge around it. It wasn't round. It wasn't smooth. It seemed stretched, almost twisted. When researchers simulated the behavior of massive spiral galaxies, they discovered something remarkable. Bars tend to buckle. Like a plank of wood bending under pressure, like a bridge arching under weight, bars of stars sometimes flex upward and downward along the vertical axis of a galaxy. And when they buckle, they create shapes that puff out at the ends and pinch in the middle. A shape like the shell of a peanut. A shape like an X. A shape like something squeezed by time. That is the heart of the Milky Way. Not a sphere, not a disk, not a smooth lump of stars, but a great swelling, curling, peanut-shaped mass of ancient suns. Billions of stars, most older than the Earth itself, orbit in long, looping paths. And those orbits stack and fold, weave and twist, creating two great lobes, one above the galactic plane and one below it, like a cosmic sculpture, carved by gravity acting over billions of years. But to truly feel the strangeness and beauty of this shape, let's slow our pace further. Let's drift inward, as if we were floating across thousands of light years of interstellar space. All around us, the stars begin to thicken. At first, they are scattered and dim, like lonely fireflies flickering in vast fields. Then, as we approach the center, they multiply, gathering closer and closer until they form a dense glowing fog. In this region, stars are so packed together that if we were standing on a planet there, the night sky would be a dome of continuous golden light. No darkness between stars, just gleaming, shimmering brilliance everywhere you looked. A sky that would never know night. This is the central bulge of the Milky Way. And yet, it is not a sphere. Instead, imagine drifting into a wide valley of stars, then passing upward into an arch, then dipping into a narrow waist, then rising again into a second swelling shape. Imagine the silhouette of a peanut printed across the fabric of the stars. This is the structure astronomers discovered when they mapped the motions of millions of stars in the galactic core. This peanut shape is known as a boxy or X-shaped bulge. And it exists because the stars are not simply orbiting like planets. They move in elongated loops, some shaped like bananas, some shaped like pretzels, all twisting in alignment with the galactic bar. When millions of such orbits overlap, they create a pattern, a three-dimensional sculpture of stellar light. It is a peaceful structure, slow-moving compared to human life. It rotates gradually, taking tens of millions of years to complete a single turn. It has existed for billions of years, glowing in silence at the core of a galaxy that is itself drifting through a vast sea of darkness. And although violent forces shaped it, gravity, turbulence, cosmic collisions, the result is almost gentle. A soft shape, rounded edges, curved contours, a cosmic peanut. But the peanut is only one part of the deeper story. Because inside this bulge, hidden at the very center, sits something far more mysterious. Sagittarius A*, a supermassive black hole 4 million times the mass of the Sun. This black hole sits right in the middle of the peanut structure, like the kernel that once lived inside a shell. It doesn't shape the peanut. It is far too small for that. But it anchors the core with its gravity. Stars whip around it in orbits so tight and fast that you can watch them move over the course of a human lifetime. Yet out beyond those tight orbits, the millions of stars forming the peanut shape drift slowly, gracefully, almost lazily, and when astronomers mapped this bulge, they realized something even more astonishing. Earth is not above or below the peanut. Earth sits just outside it, tilted at just the right angle that, if your eyes could see through dust and gas, you would be looking directly into the swollen curve of this cosmic shape. But the dust is thick, so to us, the center appears only as a faint glow. A warm haze, a hidden heart. Let yourself rest in that thought for a moment. A hidden heart. A shape millions of years in the making. A shape made of ancient suns, their light traveling across unimaginable distances before it reaches our eyes. A shape we did not know existed until we learned to see not with ordinary sight, but with instruments tuned to wavelengths that pierce the darkness. The universe often hides its beauty, but sometimes, patiently, it reveals it. The peanut shape also tells us about the Milky Way's past. It tells us that the galaxy once had a turbulent youth, when its bar first formed. The bar likely emerged when the young galaxy had more gas, more chaos, more energy. Gravity tugged on the disk, and as stars shifted, the central region stretched itself into an elongated bar. Over time, the bar buckled. It rose above the disk, dipped below it, and eventually puffed outward. This buckling created the peanut shape, turning a simple bar into a three-dimensional bulge. Galaxies are not rigid structures. They bend, they warp, they ripple, they change shape over billions of years. And our galaxy is no exception. The peanut-shaped heart is a frozen record of that bending. A fossil written in stars. A memory preserved across cosmic time. Now imagine drifting upward along one of the peanut's lobes, rising slowly through a dense cloud of stars. The glow softens as you ascend. The gravitational pull weakens. You find yourself floating above one lobe, looking down at the entire structure. From this vantage point, the shape becomes clear. The bar stretches horizontally. The bulge swells outward like two lanterns connected by a narrow waist. The faint imprint of an X appears, carved by the overlapping orbits of countless stars. It is a sculpture made not by hands, but by motion. Every star is an artist. Every orbit is a stroke. And together, over billions of years, they created something organic and smooth, something almost alive. What makes this structure even more soothing to imagine is its calm. The peanut shape doesn't shiver or collapse. It doesn't flicker or pulse. It exists in a state of quiet balance. Gravity holds it. Time shapes it. Motion sustains it. It is the cosmic equivalent of a steady breath. Slow, deep, unbroken. The stars within this bulge are old. Some are nearly as old as the galaxy itself. Many are red giants, swollen and glowing with gentle, warm light. Others are smaller, dimmer, more steady. They burn slowly, patiently, as if they are waiting for the rest of the universe to catch up. These stars are veterans of the cosmic journey, witnesses to the entire evolution of the Milky Way. Imagine drifting closer to one of those old stars. Its light is red and soft. Its surface roils gently. It pulses with the rhythm of a heart that has been beating for billions of years. Around it drift clouds of dust, remnants of planets that once may have existed. Perhaps this star once had its own solar system. Perhaps it had worlds, oceans, rocky moons. But time wears everything down. Worlds crumble. Stars age. Systems dissolve. Yet the light remains. Warm, faint, eternal. And all of these old stars, billions of them, form the structure we see as a peanut-shaped bulge. It is easy to think of galaxies as flat spirals like the images in textbooks. But real galaxies are complex, three-dimensional creatures. They have thickness, height, depth. The Milky Way is no exception. Its disk is warped. Its arms are uneven. Its bar is tilted. Its core is swollen. Everything about the galaxy is a result of dynamic motion. Nothing is still. Nothing is static. Everything flows. Now imagine the galaxy at the scale of a living organism. Its spiral arms are like vast extensions, reaching outward. Its dark matter halo is like a protective sheath. Its core, with its peanut-shaped bulge, is like a heart, quiet, ancient, beating in slow gravitational rhythms. This heart does not pump blood, pump stars. It circulates light. It governs the orbits of everything around it. At this point, let your breathing slow again, in and out, each breath matching the imagined rotation of the galaxy. A rotation that takes 240 million years to complete. A rotation so slow, so vast, that compared to it, a human life is barely a blink. But there is comfort in that. Comfort in knowing that the universe moves at its own pace. Unhurried, patient, steady. The peanut-shaped bulge was not discovered by accident. It was revealed through careful study of star counts, infrared maps, and detailed simulations. When astronomers compared what they saw to computer models of galaxy evolution, they found the same shape emerging again and again. The buckling bar, the curved lobes, the narrow waist, all created by the natural physics of rotating stellar disks. The universe doesn't need anything exotic to create beauty. Ordinary matter, following the simple rules of gravity, is enough to sculpt something astonishing. But why a peanut? Why not a smooth sphere? The answer lies in the orbits. Stars in the bulge do not move in circles. They move in elongated paths, often in orbits that rise above the galactic plane, dip through it, and rise again. If you could see all their paths at once, you would see arcs overlapping in patterns that resemble an X. This X shape is one of the fingerprints of a buckled bar. And that X, when viewed from certain angles, becomes the peanut shape. It is a reminder that the shapes we see in the universe are not random. They are the result of underlying motion. Every shape has a story. Every structure has a history. And the peanut-shaped heart of the Milky Way has a long, quiet, textured history. A history of formation, buckling, rebalancing, and slow, gentle evolution. A history written not with ink, but with starlight. Once more, drift. Let your mind float outward from the bulge, out across the swirling bar. The bar itself is a delicate structure, holding billions of stars in a long, thin line. It rotates slowly, shepherding gas and dust into the center, feeding the inner regions of the galaxy. The bar creates the conditions that allow the peanut shape to exist. Without the bar, there would be no buckling. Without the buckling, there would be no peanut. The bar is the spine. The bulge is the heart. The arms are the limbs. And the halo is the ghostly aura surrounding everything. Now drift farther outward. You pass the inner arms. You pass the dust lanes. You pass the region where new stars form in clusters and glowing clouds. You pass regions where ancient stars drift alone. You pass through spirals, through darkness, through waves of interstellar matter. Finally, you return to the place where Earth orbits the sun, a quiet corner of the galaxy, a place far from the peanut, far from the heart, yet connected to it by gravity, by motion, by the ancient dance of stars that spans the galaxy. And now, lying in your bed, breathing softly, you realize something calming. The entire galaxy is in motion, but the shape at its center has existed longer than humanity itself, longer than the mountains, longer than the oceans, longer than any life on Earth. It is a shape carved not by chaos, but by slow and gentle change, a shape that reflects the quiet rhythms of the universe. The Milky Way's heart is not spherical. It is not flat. It is not simple. It is a peanut-shaped monument to cosmic time, a structure so large that light itself takes tens of thousands of years to cross it, a structure so hidden that, for almost all of human history, we had no idea it was there, a structure so beautiful that once you know it exists, it changes the way you imagine our place in the galaxy. You are not floating in an ordinary spiral. You are floating in a galaxy with a heart shaped like a peanut, a heart built by the motion of stars, a heart that has glowed for billions of years, a heart that will continue to glow long after our sun is gone. Let that thought cradle you. Let it wrap around you like the soft arms of the night. The universe is vast, yes, but it is also orderly, calm, predictable on long timescales. And at the center of our galaxy is a shape sculpted not by violence, but by the slow, peaceful folding of orbits. Rest now. Let your mind drift like a star in the outer disk. Let your thoughts orbit gently around the center of the Milky Way. Let the peanut-shaped heart remind you that even the universe, in all its scale and mystery, creates shapes that are warm, organic, familiar. You are part of that universe. Tiny part, a beautiful part, a brief flicker of awareness in a galaxy that has existed for billions of years. And somewhere, far beyond sight, in a hidden region of starlight and dust, the peanut-shaped heart of the Milky Way continues its silent, ancient, peaceful rotation.